I'm here with Margot, and like in the book, she always makes me smile, and she is the sunshine of my life. Thank you, Margot. I want to thank Effie. She worked so hard to put this together. Thank you, Effie, for putting this together. This is phenomenal. I can't believe we got so many people. And my friends for a long time, Ernie and Astis and Father Alex, friends for 40 years, maybe more. But Father, Ernie, thank you so much. And I'm glad Ernie is back where he started from, WABC. Welcome back. And he's going to be the Grand Marshal of the Greek parade this year. He was always reporting the parade. Report. This year, he's the Grand Marshal. Congratulations. Father Alex, a mentor. When we had a tough day, we'd walk through Central Park and talk about life. Thank you for being there, Father Alex. And a mentor to me, but you have guided so many people in our community, in our church, our community. There is no replacement for Father Alex. So may you live long, because the community needs you, the church needs you. And God bless. Thank you so much. People say, why did you write the book? Well, a few years ago, first, the country of Greece made a stamp in my honor and my family's honor. And I wasn't going to do it. I said, oh, what do I need a stamp for? I'm not even dead. And I said to myself, Ipsihi, the spirit of my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers, my great-great-grandfathers will be watching over me, watching over it, and be proud of the family name. Now, the one thing, my mother came from Constantinople, a very educated family in Constantinople. Her grandfather was the chancellor at the Patriarchy in 1890 or something like that. So I must have church blood in my veins. And my father from Lysidos. Both my grandfathers came to America in 1913. The same way a lot of your grandfathers, a lot of our forefathers, to find the streets that were loaded with gold. It took me over 100 years to find it. But in their memories, then my mom, and there was a book about my mother. It's in Greek, it did very well in Greece, written by Justine Francouli. And we're gonna rewrite it in English, and it might be a prequel to this book. And when I wrote this book, I tried to make it as simple as possible. Simple. I don't want fancy words. I don't want fancy anything. I grew up on 135th Street. I grew up in Harlem. We ate chicken for dinner every night. You know, it was like 25 cents a pound, 29 cents a pound. But the one thing that my mother and father taught me that I tried to live by is the fact that you never do anything that's going to ruin the family name. And I tried to live by that. And I tried to teach my kids that. Be proud of your family. Be proud where you came from. You notice, I didn't change my name from Katzimatidis to Katz. Even though when I was running for mayor, I said, Katz, Katz, Katz. But the Hellenes, the Greeks, have always been proud. And the one thing I can't believe, how the country of Greece has dwindled down to only 9 million people. And that is mind-boggling. And all the educated, a lot of the educated, there was a brain drain in Greece. People moved away. They went to London, they went to Paris, they went, Bandung. But all of us that are outside of Greece should never forget the land of our forefathers. And that's a good reason I wrote the book. So, God forbid I ever get Alzheimer's, and I forget to be able to tell my children, my grandchildren someday to come, that at least they have something written down. So I urge all of you, maybe you should write a book someday. Why not? Or write a memo, or write something. Because your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids to come, they have to know where they came from. The one thing I did with my father, I sat down with him, and I wrote down the family history going back to 1860, every name. And I have it put away. So someday my kids, when they think it's important, they'll look at it. But, and the other thing, I try to mentor kids. I've worked for the Police Athletic League for 40 years, Mr. Wallenthorne. And I go to Harlem, I go to the inner city, and I try to mentor those kids, I try to help those kids. When I go to Astoria and I see Greek kids, I try to mentor them. And you know what I say to the kids in Astoria or Long Island City? I say to them, when you want to achieve success, don't make the top just the Greek community. Make the top the entire American community. Seek to go to higher places. I don't want to talk forever. I just, I guess I just gave you my inner feelings. My son is sick. He wasn't able to come tonight. There's something going around with runny noses and things like that, so he didn't want to give it to anybody. He's a good kid. And I hope it replaces me soon so I can take one day off a week. My daughter is interested in politics. I grew her up, she grew up as a Bill Clinton Democrat, and then I woke up one day, she became a Republican. I love you all. I don't care if you're a busboy, I don't care if you're a professor. I love you equally. And that's the way I've always lived my life. And I guess I can take a few questions. I mean, I look at some of those pictures, and I look at all the experiences in life, and I guess that's another reason I wrote the book. And I put a lot of pictures in it, but nowhere near the pictures that are hanging around. And Effie, thank you for finding some additional pictures.
But you got to sign the books over.
I will sign the books. If anybody has any questions, I'll take 1 or 2 questions. Yes. Tell us your name, rank, and serial number. Huh? How are you?
My name is Susan Gurney. I live not too far away. My question is, how does one choose between D'Agostini's or Christina's for the best?
Well, you have to listen to Marco's just made some commercials. D'Agostino, you know why I bought D'Agostino? It's a 100-year-old company. They were ready to go bankrupt. I walked into the stores, all the shelves were empty, and I didn't want to see them go bankrupt. So I bought them and saved that company.